Welcome to the City Council meeting for the City of Eureka Springs. It's Monday, November the 8th at 6 p.m. Mary Jean, would you establish a quorum, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Blankenship?
Here.
Mr. Berry?
Present.
Mr. DeVito?
Here.
Ms. Zeller?
Here.
Ms. Snyder?
Here.
Mr. Brammer?
Present.
All present, ma'am.
Okay. If you would rise and say the pledge, please. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first is the approval of the agenda.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay, motion and a second. I need to add under new business, number 3 is going to be a discussion of our city's policy on domestic partners benefits. Anybody else?
Would we want to move some of, I mean, we have people here for various items. Would we entertain moving them ahead of at least the auditorium commission?
Which ones you want to move?
Well, the
We have
waiving of the construction fees.
for the school. Okay, we can put that first if you want.
Is the lady from St. Anne's here?
I don't know. Haven't seen her. Anything else? Do you want to move the hospital up?
Fine by me.
So we'll just do new business first.
Okay, then let's go ahead. That's going to be in the middle of old business, but we'll move number 1 from new business up to second, since we have people here for that. Okay, anybody else? Okay, motion is second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, next is the approval of the minutes from October the 25th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, commission committee reports and vacancies. In your hands, you should have an application for the Parks Commission for Stephen Foster. I'm going to nominate him for position 4, and then we will discuss this at the next meeting. That still leaves us with another opening on the Parks Commission, and we still have 3 openings on the Planning Commission. Okay, Mr. Williams?
Jim Williams, Executive Director of the CAPC. It's been our tradition for the last couple of months to give you all a report on things that are going on at the CAPC. Tonight I want to do 2 things. One, on Tuesday night, a week from tomorrow night, at 6 o'clock at the auditorium, Sandy Edwards and Jamie McGraw are coming from Crystal Bridges to give anybody in town who is interested a presentation on Crystal Bridges, the facility, and Crystal Bridges collection. I've seen this presentation, and in Eureka Springs, Sandy has told me she's going to add more on the collection than she does in her normal presentation because she knows that we have so many artists here that will be interested in the collection. I encourage you all to come. If you don't know much about Crystal Bridges, it's a wonderful presentation, especially members of the public who are interested in knowing more about Crystal Bridges. 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 16th at the Aud. The presentation will be followed by a small reception in the lobby, and it'll be worth your time. It'll only be about an hour to an hour and a half. Tonight, I want to tell you, I'm criticized quite often by my chairman for not tooting the horn of the CAPC or things we're doing. One of the only smart things, maybe, that I've done since I've been here is recognize the abilities of a person who was our administrative assistant when I came to town. And when we decided to get heavily back into the group travel business, I recognized that the logical person to be our sales manager for group travel was Karen Pryor. She gave a report on the group travel effort to the CAPC Commission last month, and rather than me talking about all the things that are going on, I've asked Karen to come tonight and give you that same presentation. So Karen Pryor, Sales Manager for the CAPC.
Wow. I didn't pay him or anything. I apologize to Commissioner Blankenship and Zeller. You've already heard this. Since taking the position in January of 2009, I've attended approximately 30 trade shows and or conferences, with the exception of just a few, all focused on increasing group travel to our area. While it's a widespread issue in the tourism industry to accurately calculate visitor numbers for both groups and leisure travelers, I've been told by not only some of our lodging properties but other business leaders in the community that the presence of motor coaches specifically and groups in general have increased. There have been some concerns that a lot of those motor coaches are day trippers. Some of them are. A lot of them are not. My focus in 2011 is to convince these group tour planners that they need to vacation in Eureka Springs, day trip in Branson. And I have had some success with that. Several shows that I attended this year have included group leaders who have told me that they brought groups to Eureka Springs this year as a direct result from meeting with me at shows in 2009. Most of these groups went directly through their selecting lodging property to make their arrangements. Every person I come in contact with at a show receives a copy of our group tour planner, and I have a copy for everyone if y'all would like to look at it. These just came off the press about 3 weeks ago. Pass those around for me. There's also a copy of our profile sheet. At the very least, they receive a profile sheet depending on the requirements of the particular show that I'm attending. The profile sheet is in my budget for 2011 to be redesigned. What it looks like now is the cover of the previous group tour planner, and I want to redesign it to look like the current group tour planner. I'm making an effort to encourage group leaders and operators to contact me directly when they're considering Eureka Springs as part of their travel itinerary. While I can't make specific reservations for them, I can help them with itinerary planning. I can quiz them on the specific needs of their individual groups and maybe help them narrow down their choices of lodging properties specifically to maybe 2, 3, or 4 selections instead of an entire booklet. So they're only making a few phone calls instead of phone call after phone call. That seems to be working as well. And by them contacting me directly, it will help me keep a somewhat better grasp on exactly who's coming to town, where they're coming from, and when they'll be here. We had a FAM back in September. FAM is a familiarization tour. We went to the Going on Faith conference in Joplin in August and invited everybody at the Going on Faith conference to this FAM that Jody English and Mike Bishop and I put together. We had 42 people accept our invitation. They represented states of Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Ohio, Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, and Arkansas. They were here for 2 nights and 3 days in September. We took them to all the attractions at the Great Passion Play, a tour and presentation at Thorn Crown, at the Queen Anne Mansion, at Turpentine Creek. We had a stop at the Eureka Springs Northwest Arkansas Railway. We did a tour, presentation, and a special downtown gallery stroll with them. They attended the Pine Mountain Theater, and they also did a tram tour. Lodging and meals for these 42 people were comped by our local businesses. The results of that FAM include me personally working with 3 tour operators, developing itineraries for 3-day visits in 2011. I've talked with 2 lodging properties and 3 local attractions who have already booked reservations for 2011 as a direct result from this FAM. I'm currently working with Max Patey from Red Carpet Charters out of Oklahoma City. We will be doing another FAM beginning Wednesday of this week. I will have 50 people from Oklahoma City and Tulsa in town. They'll get here Wednesday night. They'll be here all day Thursday, and they're leaving Friday. This is what we call a hub and spoke itinerary. They will hub in Eureka Springs, and they will spoke out to different attractions in our area. Coming into Eureka Springs, they're going to stop for a couple of hours in Bentonville. Eureka Springs has them for 2 nights. We're going to take them over to the Ozark Medieval Fortress on Thursday. And then when they leave on Friday, they will stop off in Fayetteville for a couple of hours and then go back to Tulsa and Oklahoma. I would like to be able to host 2 FAMs beginning in 2011, one in the spring and one in the fall. I've done several FAMs the last 2 years, not only with the larger groups that I just told you about, but with 2 or 4 or 6 people. Those work well, but I think if we can get a lot of people at one time, that it would be more beneficial and certainly more economical for us. So I would like to try that. It will be, of course, with the permission of my commission. We have 2 publications coming up before the end of the year that will feature Eureka Springs to group travelers. One of them is The Courier, which is a higher income monthly magazine that's published by the National Travel Association. NTA is the leading association for professionals serving travelers to, from, and within North America. The Courier reaches approximately 5,000 group tour operators per issue. Their December issue will focus on gay, lesbian-friendly destinations within our area. We've placed an ad in that publication, and there will also be some Eureka Springs editorial. Eureka Springs will also be featured in an upcoming issue of Bank Travel Management. That particular publication will either come out in January or February. I'm pushing for January because the Bank Travel Conference is in February. I'll be attending that conference, and I would like for our editorial to get out to those people so that they'll know that I'm going to be there. My next show is the American Bus Association Conference in January. I've submitted my appointment request. The deadline for those appointments is not until November the 23rd, so I will not receive my exact schedule until the middle of December. However, as of this morning, 9 motor coach companies and or group tour operators have requested time with us. As of last Friday, we had 10 motor coaches already booked for at least an overnight stay in Eureka Springs next year. They are from Michigan, Louisiana, 3 from Texas, 2 from Oklahoma, Tennessee, Indiana, and Florida. Questions?
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I tell you guys, we're down here and we see who comes in and out of this parking lot all the time. And every time that there's a bus that pulls up out here, she's out there to meet them. If she's in town, she's here to meet them. So she's putting a face with what she's selling, and I think that's so critical.